Welcome to the Workamper Show, brought to you by Workamper.com. This podcast helps you discover how to finance your RV travel dreams. Each one of our episodes will introduce you to people who are already living the RV lifestyle or to work camping opportunities all around the U.S. You'll also learn how to hit the road the right way and make the most of every opportunity. Now let's turn over today's show to your host, Greg Gerber.
Today is a special day for the Workamper Show. We are releasing our 300th episode. It's quite a milestone for our 5-year-old podcast. We will celebrate the occasion with a special show about finding the ideal workamping job. Would you like to be featured in an upcoming episode of the Workamper Show? Schedule an interview with me today at workampershow.com. We'd love to hear about your workamping experiences, how you got started RVing, what you love and dislike about the RV lifestyle. By sharing your story, you can help others explore all the different ways to live this great lifestyle. If you employ workampers, you are invited to be on the podcast too. Share all the details of your workamping jobs in a future episode. It only costs a little bit of your time. You can set up an interview with me by visiting workampershow.com, where you'll find scheduling buttons at the bottom of the homepage. Today's episode is actually hosted by Jody Duquette and her husband Luke. They became the owners of Workamper a few years ago when Jody's parents retired after running the company for about 20 years. The entire focus of the Workamper operation centers on helping RVers to find great jobs, as well as helping employers to connect with people who are looking for those jobs. So Jody and Luke are going to have a discussion to offer tips for finding the ideal workamping job. They've identified 11 steps people can take to follow a path from looking for work to actually landing a job. To tell us more about what it takes to find a great workamping job, please welcome to the show the owners of Workamper.com, Jody and Luke Duquette.
Hello, dear listeners.
Hello.
Luke and Jody Duquette here. And in case you haven't heard us on previous episodes, we are the owners of Workamper News. Jody's parents took over the business about 20 years ago from the original creators. And when she graduated college, she started working for Workamper News as well. That was about 18 years ago. And I joined the family, married Jody in 2010, and have been here since then.
Since about 2020, we've been the main operators of Workamper News, and we have a small staff with a couple other gals as well, just helping workampers find jobs and employers hire and recruit those workampers looking for jobs.
And we are also RVers, been RVing for about 12 years now. We're on our third RVing. Started with a 40-foot fifth wheel. Then we had a approximately 30-foot Class C, And now we have a 27-foot travel trailer. So yeah, we just wanted to say thanks to everyone who's been listening to the podcast. It's crazy how fast time has gone, but we've been putting out episodes consistently for 5 years now. So
Happy 5th birthday to the Workamper Show podcast. It's wonderful that so many of you in the community have been willing to share your stories in these episodes. We'd also like to thank employers who have shared the details of their work camping opportunities as well. If any of you who are listening are experienced work campers or you're an employer that will be seeking work campers for a future season, we encourage you to schedule an interview with our host, Greg, to be on a future episode.
Speaking of Greg, this podcast has been his baby, and we would like to give him major kudos for hosting and producing it. We couldn't do it without him.
That's for sure.
Mr. Gerber is a great friend to us and to the RVing community, so thanks again, Greg.
Yeah. Being that this is the 300th episode, we wanted to do something a little different than just an interview. We are going to go over the steps to finding the right work camping job for you. Now, everyone's work camping job finding process will be a little bit different, but this is a good framework to help you get started or enhance your current process.
So we're just going to go through a couple of ideas here for finding a job, and Jody's probably going to expound a little bit more than what I'm going to here. So
yeah, but we've got about 11 steps to go through. So step number 1 is do your homework. So in order to know what's even possible for you with the work camping lifestyle, we recommend that you start going through all of the different job listings that are out there, as well as reading. We have articles, videos, of course, our podcast episodes, and all of these are going to open your eyes to the different possibilities that are out there. Now, you may have heard of work camping from a friend or someone you've met along the way that is work camping is just working in a campground. But to us, there really is a lot more to it than that. that work camping is doing any kind of work while living in your RV. And so the possibilities really are endless. So you definitely want to make sure that you understand really what work camping is. And a lot of our articles and videos go through the how-to even more in depth than this podcast recording today. How to find a job, interviewing, all of that kind of stuff. You want to feel as prepared as you can to enter this lifestyle. And the more prepared you are, the more successful you'll be. So be sure to do your homework so you know what work camping opportunities are out there and what the lifestyle is all about. Next up, you'll want to think about prioritizing your wants and needs. And when you're doing this step, you want to also make sure to do it with everyone in your RV household. Because what I want to do maybe wouldn't be Luke wants to do.
Oh, I don't know about that. We pretty much always want to do the same thing.
Yeah. But you'll want to go through the places that you're interested in going and maybe the types of jobs that you're interested in working, as you may, in going through the different job listings, see positions that you had never even considered for yourself. And that can be a fun thing to explore and dream, especially if you are traveling with a partner or family members.
Right. So you want to make sure that you've prioritized what your wants and needs are as far as things like job duties and, like Jody was saying, the locations you want to go, compensation that you may need while you're out there on the road, the hours you might be willing to work, when you would want a job to start or end. There's a lot of details to all these things, and you want to make sure you know what you want so that you can find what you want.
Yeah, absolutely. And communicate that to employers. Because if you do go to apply for a job and the employer's, when are you wanting to start? When are you available? What are you looking to do? And you're just like, well, I'm not really sure. I don't care. I don't know. We're up for anything. That can sound a little flaky to employers. Knowing what you want going into it will make you a more appealing applicant from their perspective as well. And you just don't want to end up putting yourself in financial hardship either. So developing a budget and knowing how much income you need to earn, if you do need to earn income with your work camping, that way you are, like Luke said, you're able to find those positions that cover your budget and your needs financially. So that way this new lifestyle doesn't just become a hardship for you.
Yeah,
because we don't want that. We don't want that.
All right. So for 3, we have cast a larger net. What we mean by that is using our resume builder on our website.
So you don't want to just look at job listings and go with our system. You could have employers coming to you. And we have some employer members, they never advertise their jobs. So you'll never even see a job listing come through detailing their positions. They find all of their work campers just by searching our resume database or maybe going through our work wanted ads. And they reach out to work campers that appeal to them. So with your job finding process, you at least want to have that 2-pronged approach where you are researching what's out there and communicating to the employers that are advertising, but also putting yourself out there so the employers can come to you.
And of course, once you've got your resume set up on our website, you can export it as a PDF, or you can just email it through our system to an employer. So yes, it's out there for employers to find, but you can also send it directly to the employers that you're interested in working for. So
yeah, absolutely. And it keeps track of it as well. If you email the resume through our system, it keeps a little log. So that way it's easier for you. When did I send my resume to that employer? Has it been a couple days? Has it been a week? That way you can time your follow-up accordingly.
Okay, so step number 4, we have narrow your choices. And what we mean by that is select only the top few opportunities based on your preferences and follow their instructions for application exactly as indicated in the ad or in a whatever their
the employer reached out to you. Yeah, you don't want to. There are some work campers that just start cold calling businesses in areas that they want to be in. That could be one tactic that you take, and it might get the job done. But if you are looking and responding to an ad that an employer has ran, you want to make sure to follow whatever instructions are in that ad. Now, I've heard some work campers will apply to 20 different employers. Some will apply to 1 or 2 or 3 and see what happens. So this is where you need to just test some processes and see what works best for you. Now, some work campers also, we haven't even talked about the seasonality of things. How far in advance do you apply, etc. Some work campers plan ahead, some don't. Some employers recruit ahead, some don't. So it is a bit of a game, and it's really a year-round process because you never know when that perfect employer is going to be advertising. So we're getting a little off topic here, but I want you to know that there is going to be some ebb and flow with lining up your job finding process. But we do recommend, like Luke said, narrow down to a few employers that most appeal to you and begin the process of communicating with them. That's step number 4.
Yeah. Another way that we might suggest you narrow your choices is to use a tool we have on our website called Job Alerts. So you can narrow down the ads that we email you to specific states with those job alerts. So you pick the states you want job listings for, and we will email you those ads that are in those states immediately upon their publishing on our website.
And it's the full ad text. It's not, oh, there's a new ad for this state. Now go hunt around on our website to find it. No, we send you the full ad text, so it's much easier for you.
So that's a job alert. We also do the hotline email, which is the daily compilation email. That one goes out about 4 p.m. Central Time, where the job alerts would go out immediately upon that job getting published on our site. So that could be any time of the day from 8 to 4:30 during our work hours. But
yeah, absolutely.
Or maybe later if Jody's
working
too much fun working and working late.
Yeah.
Okay, so step number 5, we have researching potential employers. And what we mean by that is you've decided what your needs were, you've narrowed down some potential opportunities that you like, and now you want to actually go and research those employers to find out more information about them to better make a educated call on which ones you really want to go for.
Yeah.
And so ways to do that, we have feedback on specific employers at workamper.com that workampers that have taken those jobs from those employers have gone and left reviews on what the work experience was like. We call that Workamper experiences. I think in the new site, we're just calling that job reviews or review.
Yeah, it'll be on their,
yeah,
reviews on the employer profiles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can read reviews. You can use the member map, which is offered to our Workamper members as a means of finding fellow Workampers in their area or in an area they're interested in going to.
Yeah, like I would search the city. If the job that I'm applying for is at a specific location, you could search that city state, see if there are any Workampers there. And if they have the contact information available on their profile, you could reach out to those Workampers and say, hey, are you working for XYZ employer? I'd love to ask you some questions and get more information about how it's gone for you.
Yeah. And also always important, if you can find a website for the company, check it out, read any reviews they may have on Google, just to get a feel for what people think of it and what you might expect when you go there as just a customer.
And knowing more about the business as well will allow you to refine your interview questions. If you already have an idea of where this employer is located and what's in the local area and how many, if it is a campground, how many RV sites they have, if they also have like rentals on site, if they do activities, learn a little bit about the business ahead of time. And then that way, when you are in that interview, you're not wasting precious time getting generic information about the employer. You've already done that research ahead of time, so you already know. And that will also look good to the employer and be like, oh, they've taken some time to learn about me. That feels good. So that looks good on you as well.
Yeah, definitely. And then last thing on that is that if possible, a personal visit, visiting the campground or the employer, whatever company it may be, it might not be a campground, but you're not always going to be able to visit. A point of Workamping is that you're traveling. So you might not want to travel 1,200 miles to go see a campground before you decide to work there.
But maybe you've been RVing before and you stayed at this and really enjoyed your experience there as a camper.
Right.
Now you could go back and be like, maybe we spend a whole season here and we already know we enjoyed it as a camper. So let's research it as a work camper and maybe see what it would be like working there. And you already know you like the area or the location. So not often you're going to get that personal visit, but you never know.
All right. Step number 6. We have cover all your bases.
Yeah. So making contact with a potential employer, make sure you are getting the information so that you fully understand what will be expected of you. And this is probably the most important step and perhaps one that often, gets rushed through, especially by new Workampers, as you're just so excited. Oh, I'm interested in this opportunity and I can't wait to go to this area. And so you end up talking more about other things instead of getting all the details about the opportunity so you can make that decision for yourself on if it's going to be right for you or not.
Because that's the key. We're trying to help you find jobs that are right for you. So
yes,
if you just wing it and you take the first job that you advertised in a location you want to work in, It may require you to clean bathrooms or do something you didn't realize you were going to have to do or can't do physically. You need to make sure you understand all of the requirements of the position and that you're willing to do those things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And even something as simple as getting your RV there. Yeah. Some work campers have taken a job maybe on Mackinac Island or something, and there's a ferry that you have to take to get there. Can your RV fit on that ferry? So it could be as simple as just the driving to get to that location. Mm-hmm. You need to know all of those things ahead of time. And we have a video on our website as well as an article or two with lists of questions, ideas of questions that you can ask to an employer to help you get all of that information. Because I know some of you are going, I don't know what to ask. We've got you covered there. So dive into our resources and we'll help you with developing that list. But the list will end up being specific to you because there might be some things, I won't work on Sundays, or I can be on my feet for a little while, but I'll need to take breaks. Again, like Luke said, physically, what are you capable or not capable of doing?
Or you have a big dog, or maybe you bring a motorcycle and maybe that's not allowed at the place you're going, or who knows. You need to make sure all those specific details about your situation are covered in any type of interview you may do. Some of the questions you may want to ask would be things like what specific duties are going to be involved with the position? What hours are you going to have to work? Maybe what hours are you going to have to work in trade for your site? Is there pay for hours worked past that? What days off would you have? Would you and your partner, if you have a partner, have the same days off? Would you work the same shifts? Are there benefits? Any health insurance? Or what kind of training might be done? Who your supervisor might be, and if you can talk to them before you accept a job.
Yeah.
Of course, what your pay might be, which wage is going to be. So there's some ideas of things that you definitely want to make sure you go over in any communications that you have with the potential employer.
Absolutely. So getting all the information that you can.
Yeah.
In that step.
All right. So step number 7, you want to do the math.
Yeah. So now we're going to evaluate the opportunities. In previous steps, you've figured out what your budget is. And if you do need to earn some income, how much income that you need to make. And then you've gotten the information that you need from the employer as to what the compensation package is there. So then you need to do the math to see if all of the stars align and it's going to work out, for your budget. Now, there really is a variety of compensation in the work camping realm. There are some positions, usually about 20% of positions, are working in trade for an RV site and usually some other non-monetary perks. And then that's it. You're just working in trade for your site.
Propane or laundry money. Or
electricity, cable, Wi-Fi, meals, uniforms, use of toys like kayaks or golf carts or things like that. Also, there are positions where you might work so many hours a week and trade for your RV site, and then any hours worked over that are paid a certain wage, and you want to then also be sure to ask how many extra hours you will be working, and is that guaranteed or not? And then another compensation package would be you are paid for every hour that you are worked, and you receive the RV site at no cost. Other times you're paid for every hour worked, but there is a fee that you're paying for that RV site. And there are some positions that are salary. You're earning a set amount. Some positions pay commissions, like doing a Christmas tree sales lot or fireworks tents. Those usually pay commissions. There are sales positions where you're earning a salary and commission. So there really is quite a variety in the compensation that's out there. But when we're looking at doing the math, typically that's going to be if you are working some hours in trade for that RV site, you want to know what your equivalent hourly wage would work out to be for those hours that you are trading for that RV site and perks.
Yeah, so we've got a pretty straightforward formula. It's the value of the site, monthly or seasonal rate, plus hookups, plus perks, plus monthly wages or salary, divided by the hours worked per month, which would equal your equivalent hourly wage. Break that down a little bit more clearly. What's the value of the site at a monthly or seasonal rate so that we can compare to what an average camper would pay?
Yeah. And this is, of course, assuming that the employer that you're looking at is an RV park or campground.
Yeah.
And some RV parks and campgrounds don't have monthly or seasonal rates. Maybe they only have nightly rates or only have weekly rates. So you have to fudge this a little bit. And also, you may have to get the information on that from the employer, as this information may not be posted on the website, etc.
Yeah. And we say plus hookups because sometimes electrical is maybe charged in addition to, or maybe your site is free, but electrical is paid or something like that. So the hookups are probably part of the value of the site. So we say value of site plus hookups, but that's just, that's why we say it that way.
Yep.
Perks, again, that could be all the things that they offer you for free. So
if you're getting a propane discount, then your propane is cheaper. What's the value of that to you? If they're providing use of the laundry facilities, that's maybe $10, $20 a month that you're not having to pay out of your pocket to do your laundry. So
are they going to feed you every day?
Yeah.
Are they going to give you free sodas and candy or who knows what? But
it might be hard to assign a monetary value to some of these things, but you do want to try your best to do so. Yeah, so look at all of those items and add that up together. Then if you are being paid some wages on top of that, you can add that into this total that you're creating. But if you're not getting any wages, then obviously we're going to leave that out. But
then you're going to just take that number and divide it by the hours you will work per month. So
that's going to be your equivalent hourly wage. Once you have done this math and you have an idea of what your hourly wage works out to, if you are working for a for-profit business, then the hourly wage that you are earning should not be lower than the applicable minimum wage. And the minimum wage federally right now is $7.25. But of course, some states have higher minimum wages than that. So you'll want to look into what the state minimum wage is for that position. Competitively, we've seen work camping jobs that work out anywhere from, I've seen as low as $5 an hour up to $25, even $30 an hour if they're paying for all hours and providing an RV site at the place. The range of compensation really does vary, but you do want to make sure that it is fair to you. If you're looking at it and you're like, I feel like they're charging more for the campsite even than what a camping customer would pay, then that is reason to say this isn't for me, or communicate to that employer and say, I feel like this is what you're compensating me for. Am I missing something here? Or how can we compromise to increase this so that it is acceptable for me? If you really do want to take that position, you can communicate and ask and try to get more. If you need more, they might say no, they might say yes. You never know. What's going to be right for you is different than what's going to be right for somebody else. So again, this is a personal situation in doing the math, and it could be also that the duties and the location are going to come into play. If the position is just you're hanging out in a gatehouse, waving at people as they come and go, obviously that's pretty easy to do. If you're working a maintenance position where you're going to be mowing all day and pulling weeds and painting and maybe doing some light electrical and all this other stuff, then that's, should be paying on the higher end of things, as it's going to be more physical, more continuous, etc. So the duties do come into play a lot. So that's why you really can't just assign work camping should pay this dollar amount, because the duties vary, the locations vary. Obviously, if you're in a area that's really popular, Jackson Hole, Wyoming, obviously is going to be it's a high prime touristy area. Anywhere around Yellowstone is going to be just in general a pricier area than the middle of Kansas. So location also plays a factor, and your desire as well plays a factor in whether you think it's going to be good or not.
Yeah, could be you're willing to work for less to work in to be in an area you really want to go to. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I think we pretty well covered doing the math.
Yep, that was step number 7. So let's move on. Step number 8.
Step number 8 is put it in writing.
Yeah, so that's getting what we call a work agreement or a letter of understanding. Mm-hmm. And it's not really a contract per se.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't hold up in court or anything,
right.
But at least something to fall back on if things aren't going how you thought they were once you take the job.
Yeah, laying out expectations.
Yeah. You and the employer both lay out the expectations of the work that you're agreeing to do.
Mm-hmm. And we have a video and some articles going over what a work agreement is, how to ask for one, what should be included, etc. That way you have a better idea, especially if you're going to be the one kind of putting it together. You might have enough just if you have been communicating with an employer via email, you may have a lot of this in your email exchange. But if you did a lot of your information finding via phone calls or internet calls, etc., that's not necessarily in writing. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I don't remember what Luke said yesterday. If it's been a week or two, and sometimes you're interviewing with these employers months in advance, and you won't be starting this job for 6 months in the future. And so
everybody's going to forget by
exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. You want to have it all laid out. Yeah.
Definitely have it before you travel a great distance to take a job.
Yes. And it's not a guarantee that's how it's going to be. Work campers have gotten a work agreement and got everything lined up, and they think it's X, Y, and Z, and they get to the location and the employer flips the script on them.
Maybe half their half their work campers didn't show up. And so now maybe you've got some extra tasks that you weren't planning on having to do or whatever. Flexibility is one of the most important traits or attributes that work campers need to have. So need to be able to be flexible and adaptable, and you just never quite know what's going to happen, but having a work agreement should definitely help everyone.
Yeah, if things do end up being not what you expected, then you have this as a communication tool to take to management and say, look, this is what we all agreed to. This is what's happening.
Yeah.
What can we do? You need to know what you're willing to compromise to, if you are willing to compromise, or if you're not willing to compromise. And so this is a tool that helps you have that conversation with the employer. And then the outcome of that is either hopefully the employer makes the adjustment, or you may decide that it's not going to work for you and you need to go. So that's, all a personal decision. All right. Next up here, step number 9, of course, enjoy yourself. Remember that work camping is about enjoying the RV lifestyle to its fullest. And you get to explore new places, meet new people. Relationship building is one of the biggest perks of work camping that work campers have told us about through the years.
Yeah, making friends at all their different positions and places they go.
Yeah, absolutely. But as you're evaluating the opportunities that you've been exploring and getting all the information on, definitely you want to ask yourselves a few questions just to finalize your thought process. So, do you like the location? Do you like the duties? Are you satisfied with the compensation being offered?
Do you like the employer?
Yeah. Did you hit it off pretty well? Yeah.
And your supervisor or manager. Are you physically and psychologically suited for the job?
Yeah. Because you don't want to get into doing something that you're not capable of. Hopefully you don't want to let the employer down. And obviously from the employer side, they don't want to be misled. Yeah. And that kind of flows us into step number 10 here, which is keeping your word.
Yeah. Definitely important. You don't want to accept a position unless you are committed to fulfilling all the aspects of the agreement. When an agreement is reached, be sure to show up on the appointed day because the employer is counting on you.
That's right.
That's
right. Yeah.
It's always important to keep your word and
follow through as best you can.
Yes.
Of course, there are situations that come up because there are stinkers on both sides of the equation here, guys. There are employers who are going to be stinkers and there are work campers that are going to be stinkers. And so that's just how it's going to be. So you might do everything right and you get to the job and things are not as it seemed. And if you're
as promised.
Yeah, if your safety is of concern, then you definitely need to get out of that situation if you can. If it's things that are annoying but bearable for X amount of time, these positions typically are shorter term.
Yeah.
So some work campers are like, well, I can do anything for a few months and then move on. At least you would have completed that work camping job. You would feel comfortable then listing it on your resume, etc.
The employers are counting on you to be there. If you agreed to come, they're expecting you to be there. They've got the site planned for you and have work that they need done by you. So if you show up and something about that isn't for you, then and pull up and leave in the middle of the night or something.
Yeah, that's hard.
That's definitely hard to deal with.
And also, hopefully, because you're listening to this podcast and learning as much as you can about the work camping lifestyle, you guys probably won't do this, but don't be a cherry picker as well. So I know it's tough, especially if you're lining up your work camping job like 6 months in advance and you're like, okay, I know what we're doing next summer. It's going to be great. But then you keep watching those hotline ads coming into your inbox and some ad comes through and you're like, oh man,
that sounds good.
Oh, I really wish we were doing that instead.
Save it for next year.
Save it, yes. Just put it in your little save job section and consider it for a future year. Please try to keep your commitments. Yeah. And if something does come up, look, employers are understanding. They're humans. They know things happen. If RVs fall apart, family members fall apart. Like there are situations that come up where you cannot fulfill that commitment and that stuff happens. But as soon as, hey, I can't do this anymore, you need to communicate with that employer and let them know as far in advance as possible.
Yeah.
And when stuff like that happens, they're more understanding. It's when you call no-show, that's when it gets really frustrating. So anyway. Okay. And then the next step, and we've already been talking about this, but just do your best with the work camping job. A lot of employers, they're really just looking for folks who have positive attitudes, are willing to learn, like Luke said, willing to be flexible. Most of these positions are entry-level positions. They're not rocket science positions. They're not looking for a whole lot of experience and stuff. Yeah, if you're positive and excited and willing to be a sponge and just do what you can to improve that employer's business operation, then hopefully gold star for you. Yeah.
That's the end of our list here for finding the right job for you.
Yeah, of course, there are 1,000 other things that my brain wants to tell you guys.
Right.
But I have done that. I've brain dumped quite a bit in our different videos and articles and stuff. If you visit the Workamper News YouTube channel, you can just go to youtube.com/Workamper. You'll find one of our playlists is work camping Q&As. And I've answered a whole bunch of different questions about the work camping lifestyle. So you can check out those videos. The questions are in the description of each video, so you can easily jump to which questions you want the answers to. And then also check out our knowledge base, as we have tons of articles and videos and stuff in there, really going more in depth on stuff. Because here at Workamper News, we're not just a job listing website. We are a membership organization. We are a service. We are here to help you. And we want you guys to succeed at this lifestyle. And we want employers to succeed as well. So that's why we're not just job listings. We have all these other tools and resources available to help everyone learn and make the best of this. And because we want everybody to enjoy their experiences and their travels. And this lifestyle can be awesome. It can be very challenging at times. RVing itself can be challenging. Work camping itself can be challenging. But for the most part, it's really the best time that people have. I think, from what we've heard anyway. And we enjoy it as well.
Yeah, usually. Except for when there's an issue with the RV, which tends to be like every time we
is inevitable. That's how it goes. Yeah, we gave you some framework there of the job finding process. So hopefully this helps get your brain going and can help you with figuring out how you want the Workamper job finding to go for you. But again, please visit workamper.com if you haven't already. That's our website where all the good stuff is. And we hope you'll become members and embark on this wonderful work camping journey and have an awesome time.
Yay. Happy work camping, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
I'm grateful to Jody Anderson-Duquette and her husband Luke for recording this special segment in honor of the 300th episode of the Workamper Show. The 11 steps they identified to find and secure a great job will be a tremendous help for anyone who wants to travel and enjoy a more adventurous life. The Workamper organization has truly changed the scope of RVing and for the better. When I first started working in the RV industry in January 2000, the average age of first RV ownership was 65. That's because people usually retired and then went RVing. Today, the average age when people buy their first RV is 45. That's because the former Workamper News magazine and now the Workamper.com website opened the door for people to afford to travel while they were still young enough to enjoy it. There are literally thousands of jobs available every year to people of all ages, backgrounds, and experience levels. Most are paid positions, but some are volunteer opportunities. Two features of Workamper membership that literally pays for themselves are the Awesome Applicants Resume Builder and the corresponding Awesome Applicant Resume Database. The Resume Builder guides people through a step-by-step process to create effective resumes that provide exactly the type of information employers are looking for and in places where they expect to find it. The Resume Database allows employers to scan all the resumes submitted by Workampers to search for people with specific skills and interests. It has become such an effective recruiting tool that some employers never advertise their jobs anywhere. They simply scan the database and extend invitations directly to Workampers, encouraging them to apply. As a result, Workampers who don't have their resumes in the database miss out on some great opportunities. If you are not a Workamper member, I encourage you to check out the membership options by visiting www.workamper.com and clicking on Join in the upper right-hand corner. It will cost you nothing to try out all the features and benefits for a full 30 days. If you are already a Workamper member, I encourage you to check out the new and vastly improved website. Jody and Luke have slowly been rolling out new features and functionality all year long. Do you still have more questions and answers when it comes to the workcamping and RVing lifestyle? If so, then listen to the free Workamping Q&A videos to get your questions answered. Each video answers questions submitted by folks just like you, who are learning about the RV lifestyle, or are just getting started, or have been workcamping for a while. The videos cover topics like what kind of workcamping jobs are out there, what do those jobs pay, tips for writing your Workamper resume, questions to ask an employer, what type of RV is best, and how to get your mail as an RVer, and much more. Listen to detailed answers now by watching the videos at workamper.com/answers. In the description of each video, you'll find a list of topics that were discussed so you can quickly jump to the answers you want to hear. That's all I have for today's special 300th episode of The Workamper Show. I'll be back next week with an interview of a couple who are relatively new to the RVing and workcamping lifestyle. I'll have details on the next episode of The Workamper Show. If you like this podcast, please consider leaving a review wherever you download the episodes. Thank you for faithfully listening to this show for more than 5 years.